To Nigeria now, where the Council of Legal Education has imposed a 5-year moratorium on law admissions at Abuja University for consistently violating approved quotas, that is the Base University of Abuja. The Nigerian Law School said findings showed the Base University in Abuja, founded by the Labour Party's presidential running mate Yusuf Datti-Ahmed, was carrying over 347 backlogged law graduates awaiting admission. The council stated that since 2017, the university has admitted over 750 law students, exceeding its 50 students per session allotment that should have taken 15 years to fill. It added that the university also improperly runs a 3-year law degree for some candidates instead of the accredited 5-year national benchmark curriculum. We have Oludare Akinlaja, who is the managing partner, OAR&D company, to discuss this with us. Thank you so much, Oludare, for joining us. Can you please unmute your device so that we can have quality audio feedback?
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Now, the allegation leveled against Base University Abuja is a consistent violation of approved quota. So kindly walk us through what that means, what is the implication, and if that justifies the imposition of a 5-year ban on law admissions in the school.
All right, thank you very much. The issue is the law education regulators says as far back as 2017 that they have been asking Base University to manage the intake of their students. So there are two issues here: the intake of the students, and their curriculum is done in 3 years instead of 5 years. So every institution has its design, it has its laws, it has its system. So I think every single person knows the laws. The laws are there. You shouldn't admit you can't admit above a particular number in every year. Once you do that, you are breaking the law. So it's simply a violation of the law, and the laws are written. So Base University, I'm sure, know that they have missed that. So there's a curriculum to follow, and there are a number of students you must admit per year, and they broke those two laws clearly.
So invariably, this negates the thoughts by some people that this is a political witch hunt because, of course, of the political leaning of the founder of the school, because that is a speculation that is on ground now that it has to do with because he's a member of a particular party. So you now have some people trying to look into his business or his educational it's an educational school whatsoever to witch hunt him. So of course, how do we now marry that? Should we just put that aside and just focus on the fact that this is an institutional failing?
So both of us here are just thinking that maybe that's a witch hunt. Okay, nobody can affirm, nobody can say categorically that's what it is. But you see, we must also be careful in our nation and in our country. We're trying to build a better nation. Okay, so for instance, if I'm driving on the road and I'm going against traffic and I'm caught by the Nigerian police, will I then say it is because I am either having a particular leaning or not? So once the law is there, the law is there. We all know what the law is. Okay. Now, at what point did they decide to pull the plug? I'm not sure I can affirm that. Okay. But was the law broken? Yes, it was. And I think every single person should look at it on the basis of the law. You see, and that's one of the things that always puts us under pressure in Nigeria. Once we begin to look at things from the issue of your leaning, your this, your that, people get away with a lot of things. Can we all surrender ourselves to the effect of the law, either for or against? I think we'll have a better nation if we are all disposed to think like that.
Okay, now the Nigerian Law School said that the ban is necessary to protect the integrity of its legal education program. So now, is this a regulatory crusade that should henceforth be extended to all related tertiary institutions in Nigeria?
So because I work on some form with curriculum with the Nigerian Universities Commission across other subject matter areas, the truth is there are regulatory issues. So for instance, there are a number of subjects you have to take Okay, there are a number of course units you must take. There are a number so for those of us who went to university, for instance, you will know that if you don't have some amount of credit units, you will not be able to graduate from the university. Okay, so those are the kind of laws. Those are the things that are there. They exist. Okay, so if they say these are the curriculum that you must go through, so they can have a uniform learning experience. Because if Base University has a different condition attached to its existence, what happens to the other people who go to other forms of schools? So how do you create a standard or uniform level of learning where the learning is the same across board? I'm sure that's what these regulatory issues are trying to protect, making sure. I'm not saying they are the best. It's not about whether it cannot be better. But as of today, the idea is how can we standardize it and make sure that everybody is learning at the same pace, at the same time, and we're not just churning out people who are going to be called lawyers without the prerequisite learning process.
Well understood, Oludare Akinlaja. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.